Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I'm certainly not. I'm still upset over everything that's happened in the United States. But what have we got on this video today? We've got two clips to watch, this one and another one, with my own thoroughly stellar commentary and response. So we've got a group of Democrats, representatives. They are with Hakeem Jeffries, who is a Democrat representative. He's here along with others. And they describe these group of Democrat representatives, high official Democrats in the party, are describing Republican voters as enemy combatants. It took my breath away when I saw it. I saw it last night, but I'd already made a video yesterday, so I'll make it today. I mean, it's pretty much hot off the press. This is just from last night. And they're describing Republican voters as enemy combatants. That gives you a snapshot into the mind of these people and how they think and how they view you. That's how they view you, as enemy combatants. It's not Trump using these words. It's not Republicans. It's not the voters. It's the Democrat Party. The Democrats describing their fellow Americans as enemy combatants. It's disgusting. Anyway, let's get into this video. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video around. That helps me stay competitive with the likes of CNN and MSNBC. That's needed now more than ever. I'm on Parler at the Hoggcast. I'm on BitChute and that type of thing. I'm on Twitter still. If you can retweet my videos and that, just helps this channel grow in these trying times of censorship. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the first clip to watch.
Good morning, everyone. We gather here under very extraordinary circumstances in the immediate aftermath of an attack on the United States Capitol, on the House of Representatives, on the Senate, on America, on democracy itself. The insurrection that was violently perpetrated by enemy combatants and seditionists.
So he's been speaking. He didn't speak for the first 10 seconds. Okay, we're 29. We're 39 seconds in. He started speaking after 10 seconds, so that's 29 seconds. In those 29 seconds, he's used words like enemy combatants, insurrectionists, attack on democracy, attack on the Capitol, Senate, representatives, and etc., etc. So it's buzzword, 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 knowing full well that all of the media lined up there who aren't going to heckle him like they heckle the hard-pressed White House press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany. They're all lapping it up because he's giving them the buzzwords they want to hear. And the Twitterati. In my opinion, Twitter should be banned because they're banning Parler, saying, oh, it's, you know, there's people saying this and that. Go on Twitter for 5 minutes and tell me that Twitter's somehow better than Parler.
Was an attempt to halt a constitutional process and overthrow the government.
That's strange because the constitutional processes that he's waxing lyrical about is exactly the type of thing they have been trying to hold up for 4 straight years.
It was an act of sedition.
There's that buzzword again.
Was incited and encouraged by Donald Trump. And that's why he must be held accountable to the full extent of the law. President Trump has engaged in irresponsible behavior for years.
So, I've often said about projection. What he's just done there is projection. I've said before on this video, on this channel, on videos where the Democrats will, and it's a left-wing phenomenon in general, but the Democrats are experts at projection. Remember the Democrat, can't remember his name, who brought Kentucky Fried Chicken into the chamber and ate the Kentucky Fried Chicken as Republican senators or representatives were speaking. And his response to that, I can't remember his name, but it was definitely a man who was on the Democrat side. His response to that was, I'm doing this because the Republicans have basically lowered the respect, or they're disrespecting the chamber, or they're disrespecting the process. I can't remember his exact words, but the reason why I'm telling you this is he himself was disrespecting the chamber and disrespecting the House by bringing Kentucky Fried Chicken into it and eating it with grease dripping down his chin. I remember him eating it all exaggerated, with a big stupid grin on his face, like he'd just done the best thing ever. His then immediate response is to project what he's just done onto the Republicans. He's doing it here. What he's doing is extremely irresponsible, describing Republican voters as enemy combatants. And he responds to that by saying, oh, well, it's Donald Trump who's acting irresponsibly.
This is nothing new, but it is the logical culmination of his willingness to perpetrate lie after lie after lie.
More projection. More projection. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting, but he's lying here. His fellow Americans are not enemy combatants.
Undermine our democracy and march the United States of America toward authoritarianism. We will not allow it to happen.
Well, if you're not going to allow authoritarianism to happen, can you tell me why you have played every dirty trick in the book to take control not only of all three branches of government, but every institution in the Western Hemisphere? You're backed by every large multinational corporation in every hemisphere, in the Western Hemisphere, sorry, and you fully support the censoring of Parler, because Parler is the last place on the internet where conservatives are allowed to open their mouths. And you're talking about authoritarianism.
The seditionists who attacked the Capitol wanted to stop members of Congress from doing our job. They failed. We returned to the floor of the House of Representatives to certify the election of Joe Biden and to complete our work under the Constitution of the United States of America. We will never allow mob rule to prevail.
Really? This is what I'm saying. Well, I'd say there are some people out there who are just the devil, okay? He's looking you dead in the eye and telling you he will not allow mob rule to prevail. This is the man and the party who have supported mob rule in places like Seattle, Portland, Los Angeles, Kenosha, Minneapolis. And he'll look you dead in the eye and tell you when it upsets his apple cart, suddenly it's a problem.
We will continue to uplift the rule of law. It's my honor to be joined by members of the congressional delegation, all of whom will speak to the issues that occurred in the attempted insurrection against the United States of America, as well as the way forward.
He's very keen to get that word into your head. Do you notice that? It's been running now for 2 minutes, 22 seconds. He didn't speak for the first 10 seconds. And in that time, in the remaining 2 minutes, 12 seconds, he's used the word insurrection. I should have counted it. At least 8 times. Enemy combatant more than once. Sedition more than once. He's extremely keen that you and the mainstream media who are all there lapping it up go away thinking these words in your head. If there's any word that you take away from this, he wants you to take away from this: sedition and insurrection. Those are the words he wants to get into your skull. And if his effort isn't enough, the mainstream media who are there lapping it up, they'll sure as hell make it enough.
Let me simply say this. Donald Trump must be removed from office immediately. He should be impeached,
oh my God,
convicted, and thrown out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and forever banished to the dustbin of history. Every second, every minute, every day that Donald Trump remains in office presents a clear and present danger
to your plans. The reason why they're doing this is they don't want him to run in 2024. They want to go back to the old style of things where the Democrats dictate terms and the old school rhino Republicans always lose with grace, shake their hand and act as the lapdogs of the Democrat Party. That's what he wants. This is a man with evil in his eyes. If you are a person out there, and I know there's plenty of Democrat voters who would look at this man here and think, what a wise man. We should listen to him. He will lead you to ruin. The man on this screen will lead you to ruin. What he tells you to do, as soon as your back's turned, he does the exact and literal opposite. Stop listening to what these people say and start looking at what they do, because you'll find there's a big difference between the two.
To the health, safety, and well-being of the American people and our democracy. That is why the House is pursuing every available means at our disposal to accomplish the objective of holding the President of the United States accountable.
That's not their objective. When he said holding their objective, he had to stop himself a bit there. You could tell by the way he blinked a couple of times and then suddenly started posturing like he's got some sort of virtue. His objective is to get rid of the orange man. But he's not doing it for the benevolence of the American people. These are people who, when they get up in the morning until the time they go to sleep, their only objective is to play political games. They don't care what's going on in rural Louisiana. They don't care what's going on in the Rocky Mountains. They don't care what's going on in upstate New York. They don't care what's going on around the Great Lakes. It's not, for them it's DC. They eat DC. They sleep DC. They bathe themselves in the swampy waters of DC. This is Democrat Representative Adriano Epsilia. I don't know if I pronounced his name right. I don't particularly care, to be honest. He is following hard on the heels of Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat Representative, who, as you just heard a minute ago, spat a 3-minute long, that's not taking into consideration my thoroughly stellar commentary, but it was 3 minutes long of propaganda, of buzzwords, catchphrases for the mainstream media to reach up and grab as he spits them out. So Mr. Epsilia, or whatever the bloody hell his name is, he's going to add another buzzword to the bonfire that is public discourse.
Meeks, every time we're taken off to office, we swear to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So you can see where it's going with this. I find it funny he's saying that. Because he's talking about the Constitution and all the amendments and how badly they want to protect it. These are the people who are trying to get rid of the First and Second Amendments. Literally 1 and 2 of the Constitution are to go. But these are your... I said in the previous clip, and there's a lot of Democrat votes out there, of course. If you look at these people and think, yes, they are the way forward. You know, these people are just so good. They have our best interests at heart. They will lead you into tyranny.
Donald Trump is a domestic enemy. His collaborators are domestic enemies.
So, that's enough of that. So what he's saying is, first we had enemy combatants. So we've got insurrection, we've got sedition, we've got enemy combatants, we've got domestic terrorists, domestic enemies, and collaborators. This is language of war. This is language, that's war language that's being used. Where's this unity? if you're going to look towards the Democrat Party for unity, you're going to be waiting for a very long time, I feel. There will only be unity from the Democrats, I feel, this is just my opinion, when you can't even walk from one end of your house to the other without a permit to do so. You can't open your mouth without a permit to do so. You can't go to the shops without the mark of the beast on you. That's my opinion. If you're waiting for the people like you can see on your screen right now, that doesn't include me, of course. If you're waiting for them to tell you what freedom is, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. I'll leave it there. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video around. Let's get this seen. That really helps me stay competitive with the likes of CNN and MSNBC and the other mainstream media types who are there. You notice how they're dead quiet because they're lapping it all up. You notice how when Kayleigh McEnany speaks, they're shouting, they're trying to cut her off. They're asking pointed questions. They're not here. They're getting it. This is everything they ever wanted to hear. It's all words designed to coo them and woo them and get them on their side because they are the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. But anyway, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, all those things. Retweet it. I'm on Parler. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter until I get removed. I mean, that's been happening a lot lately. But I thank you for watching the video. Goodbye.